You should.
Maybe I'd get some views.
I'm celebrating you.
I don't even have a bell here. Where's my bell? My bell's all the way over there. Like, where's my
I'll ring it
bell?
for you. I got one right
Yeah,
here.
ring the bell. How you doing, everybody? Today is January 23rd, 2026. Today is Friday, and we are ready. Both of us have our hoodies on.
I
Hoodie,
know.
hoodie. We're going to get cold this week. Everybody's under snow advisory, ice advisory, except for Matt, who's in Florida, and it's gonna be like 73 degrees where he lives. So,
For a little
congrats.
bit. And if you see me wearing a hoodie in Florida, you know it's getting cold.
All right. So, what's going on today in the markets? Ashley, after some fireworks this week, right? Thanks to Mr. Trump and Davos and Greenland and the Fed, Lisa Cook and all that stuff, and we're not going to war and we are going to war. Market is flat today, except for the RUT. RUT's down 1.7. SPX is up 4 points, which is nothing. Oil is back up to 61. Dollar is down another 0.6%. NASDAQ up 2 points. Oh, sorry. NASDAQ is up 0.3%. Dow Jones down 0.5%. Gold up 1.2. VIX is at 15 and a half. Bitcoin's at 90,000. Gold up 1.3. Platinum up 6.6%, silver up 5.5%. So, interesting week. And I noticed that we have a Fed meeting next week, but nobody is talking about it.
Nobody's talking about it.
No, we got
I
Fed,
think
we got other news coming up next week. And
I think the World Economic Forum over in Davos is taking all the news headlines. It's been quite interesting to listen to. A lot of newsworthy banter coming out of that
all
forum.
right. So, what'd you take away from that?
Uh, it's it's like a conference for elites that talk about power, right, in the world. That's how I take it.
It's like all
But
the puppet masters playing with the world.
yeah, I mean, it's just like where they all meet up in their one room and they all talk about each other and what they need to do and whatnot. But I think the underpinnings of it all is the strength of the dollar, right? And it's been going down, and that's a big problem. So I think there's a big problem with the bonds, and that's why we see this flight of capital into the metals, which we're going to talk about, right? So people are scared, I think, right? And rightly so.
Yep.
So where do you park your money?
Yep. So, we still have the back and forth with Trump and the Fed. That's still going on.
Mhm.
Um, the Fed meeting is next week. They'll have a rate decision. Everybody's expecting nothing from that. Um, and I don't know at this point, does it even matter what they say? Because there'll be a new Fed governor in June, end of May, March, April, no, May, June, end of May to June. The June 1st will be the new Fed governor. So I don't even know if it matters what they're going to do from here on out. The Bank of Canada is also having their meeting. They'll be deciding about rates. Japan had their meeting yesterday. They did not do anything with rates, so everybody's pretty much stable status quo. And then next week we have confidence the U.S. Conference Board Consumer Confidence Index coming out on Tuesday, and then we have PPI on Friday. So that will give us some thing of how inflation is doing.
Yeah.
Um, and that's going to be the biggest news. We also have continued earnings, so we're in the middle of earnings season now, and we're getting tech earnings hasn't come out yet. We did have bank earnings, the bigger banks, and now we are going into the bulk of earnings season. So that's probably going to be the biggest movers of news. Hopefully, there's no there's no disasters from the snowstorm coming up this weekend. And I don't know if Trump will stay on the sidelines, but hopefully there's no big news from Washington either. And we just have a smooth, peaceful end of January.
Yeah. January to me is always pretty, at least in my experience, has been pretty rocky at times. I don't know if
It,
you feel that way.
it can be. It can be.
Yeah.
We never know what to expect. That's is my personal thing. Is like sometimes, hey, the whole year is great. End of the year is great. And January comes, it just goes.
Yeah, it's like everyone gets back in the room and they just start hitting things, right?
Yeah,
Moving things. So,
especially as an iron condor trader over years, you kind of get
yeah.
a little gun shy of January for
I
some
don't like
reason.
iron condors in January or March.
March, you don't like March either.
No,
Okay.
it's actually 3 months for me. It's January, March, and sometimes October.
No, September. September is
Yep.
pretty
October. Yeah,
brutal. September is
I, I,
brutal.
I put that period, those periods together
It's
a
like
little bit.
the worst comes in September and then it finishes off in October. So like the end of October is usually kind of okay.
Yeah.
You're kind of licking your wounds and recovering by then.
And after that,
Um,
you're sleeping towards December. You're just like,
yeah, you're just like put the trades on and hopefully
how'd
they
you
work
do?
out.
Very true.
Um, we do have some news out of Elon Musk. He is now worth almost, I don't know how you exactly calculate this number, but number I saw was $788 billion by himself. That is enough to buy Greenland.
Oh, isn't that crazy? I mean,
He tweeted about that. He goes, I could do the funniest thing right now. Like, no, they're not going to sell it to you. They might sell it to you. I don't know. But
uh,
so so
yeah,
that is insane. And the big talk today was that, or yesterday, today, recently, is that SpaceX is gearing up for their IPO.
mhm,
And they've gone ahead and they've chosen their bankers. They got a whole bunch of different bankers, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, and the list is pretty extensive, which will probably be the biggest IPO of all time. So
yeah,
it'll be interesting how that works. Not only that, but this is the probably one of the not like it's going to be the largest, but in this IPO, in the past, you really couldn't get shares of a company or you couldn't get a piece of a company unless you were friends and family or workers or somehow related to the company. Like the owner could give out shares, to friends and family rounds and the bankers and whatnot.
right,
But this time they raised so much money, and then there's a secondary market that has sprung up recently in the last several years. Whereas, if you are an investor and you want to go out and you want to say, hey, I want to buy some piece of SpaceX, you can't. I don't know the requirements. I haven't looked into it, but if you wanted to, you could buy it, and you have to wait because you can't really sell it until the IPO comes, and
right. So
then
there's a waiting period.
yeah,
Yeah,
and then you don't know how much you're going to get and what your shares will be worth and all that stuff. But um, so there might be, several people, a lot of people that were not related to the company that are going to be involved in this as well. So I'm wondering, will that push the price higher? I don't know. Or will it not push the price higher because the people who really desperately want to own the company and own the stock, they've bought in ahead of time because they're the true diehard fans, the real us, the real Muskites or whatever they're called. Um,
yeah.
and so if they've already bought in, then who's there to buy the stock when it goes public?
For all
So
those reasons, that's why I stay away from IPOs.
IPOs
At
can
least in the
be
beginning.
they
Yep.
can make a lot, but they can also
You
burn
don't
you.
know the waiting period when they're going to dump it, all that stuff. So it's just like, it's not like a true price discovery for me.
Yeah.
It's like I always let any kind of IPO just settle for a while
Yeah.
until you
So
get
like
through.
like last year, CoreWeave, which is a crypto company, came out and their prices, more than doubled first day.
Yeah.
Currently, they're trading below IPO price, right?
Right. Yeah.
So, and there's also a lot of crypto IPOs that are planned next year. Ledger, you heard of Ledger?
Oh yeah, that is the cold wallets and whatnot.
Yeah, so they have the wallet that's like a USB drive or something. Um, they are going public. Um, and Kraken has I don't even know what Kraken is.
Crack is a crypto. That is a crypto. What is it? Crypto. It's like a Coinbase. It's like an exchange.
Okay. Yeah, so
Yeah.
Gemini went public last year. Their price is also below the IPO price. Kraken is another exchange, I guess. They want to go public. Um, uh, Consensus, which is the company who owns MetaMask. MetaMask is also a
Mhm.
wallet, an online wallet. They're looking to go public. BitHub, which is a another exchange in South Korea, they're looking to go public. And then there's something Animaka Brands. It's a gaming company. They're going to do a reverse merger and go public as well. So lots of companies are looking at this bull market and saying, "Hey, let's take advantage." The biggest definitely is going to be Coinbase. I think that's going to be they're going to be talking about that for months before before it happens.
Yeah.
And in fact, to mark the occasion, this year we have already released the 2026 best stocks to trade options on the list. The list has grown to 150. You can download your list for free at optiongenius.com/stocks. Uh, and this year, for the first time, I put a stock on there that is not a stock, which is SpaceX. So basically, I put it there, and I put the name there, and it's like, okay, to be determined, whatever the stock symbol
Anticipation.
is.
Yeah.
Yes, it's coming. The stock symbol we don't know, but most likely when it launches, and they'll have options for it pretty soon after.
Sure. For
It's
sure.
going to be very volume heavy, very liquidity heavy, and very what's the right word? Premium heavy.
Hmm. I can see
So
that for sure.
it might be an interesting one. But again, we'll probably stay clear of it for a little while until it settles down. And then, probably like maybe a month after IPO, I would probably get into it. I don't know if I would get into it earlier than that, maybe. But then you also have to realize, okay, hey, when is the lockup period ending? Which sometimes it's 6 months and sometimes it's longer. Um, that when that happens, you can see a big dip in price as well. So because all
Yeah,
the insiders
definitely. You can
sell.
see a lot of movement when that lockup period ends.
Yeah, I
It's
mean, especially this time, if there's a lot of private capital on the sideline that have bought in on the secondary market,
yeah,
they're gonna want to get their profit. They've been
yeah, they
holding
bid it
on to
up and then
it.
they just sell out. Yeah.
They've been holding on to it for a while. So could they do that? Could they manipulate the market like that and bid it up like you said, and
Mhm.
then let all of it? They could.
It's been
Um,
done before. Yeah.
we'll see what happens. But that's going to be an interesting one. And so that's kind of where we're at there. Um, you did have we had our coaching calls yesterday.
Hmm.
And so, every week, we have for the club, we have coaching calls where the different levels that traders are in, they are assigned one coaching call so that they are grouped together with like-minded traders of the same skill sets and experience levels. And I think you said you had an interesting question come out in one of those sessions.
Yeah. So we had a put option on GE, which he put a credit spread on GE. Okay. Um, didn't realize that earnings was in between the expiration date, right? So that caused a big downward. G's has recently fallen quite a bit. So now he's in the money. He's near expiration. I believe today's the expiration day. It's almost a full loss. What do you do? Right? So what are the options to do that? So the initial question was yesterday, right? So we had a big drop. You're near expiration. Now you're hoping for a bounce up from that because you're so close to expiration. So what can you do with that credit spread? What are the possibilities coming out of that?
So I guess there's lots of possibilities, but having earnings. kind of limits
Yeah,
what you
that
can
that
do.
was a big mistake right there.
No, I mean, sorry, not earnings, but having expiration there.
Right.
Yeah, I think earnings, you're right. Earnings was the mistake. The GE stock, I've been watching it carefully. It's been moving higher to sideways for a while. It did qualify as one of our threshold stocks, but it's not like shooting higher. It did do well. It got up to like 320 and then it pulled back. And then yeah, it had earnings and earnings they missed, and so there we had a big down day. So definitely your rule number one of a credit spread is don't trade during earnings for
Yeah,
for
I tell
stocks.
in the coaching calls that's like the number one. We have all these points of what you would do for a credit spread and
There's
how you would.
16
There's
different
16 of them,
points.
right? But there's some very, very, very important ones, and I put that almost at the top,
Yeah.
right? You just don't know what may happen during earnings.
Hmm.
You have earnings calls where they're like the numbers are great and it still goes down. So you just don't know, right? It's not a lock.
Yeah.
Um, Depends on guidance, depends on what happens. So
So yeah, so if there was time, and if the fall off in the stock wasn't so large, you could adjust it, but there is no time. So now it's like, okay, if you want to adjust it, you got to go to another expiration cycle. And that to me, in my mind, is like another trade, you know? So it's like this one was bad. I'm going to compound it by going in again. And today the stock was down again.
right. So it's almost a full
Yeah.
loss.
So what I would have liked to see is okay, it was down on earnings, fine, but then it ricocheted, like it jumped up a little bit, even a little bounce the
Mhm.
next day. But because we have a continuation, that shows me okay, there's a lot of weakness here. There's a lot of people bailing. So I would not want to adjust. I would not want to be in that trade again.
So you would just exit.
You said he was what were the strikes?
Let's see. Bear with me for 1 second. So
I think you had said 310, 300. So if that's the case, then yes, he's right now it's at 292, so he's fully 100% in the money.
310, 300 put
Yeah,
spread.
so he's 100% in the money. You're looking at, I mean, it's expiration day. You're looking at almost a max loss.
Yep.
Um, and so there's really not that much you can do.
We talked a lot about this actually last night in the calls. It's like, okay, it's so important to know how much time you have in the cycle, whether you can adjust or not, right? Um, it's really tough when you get because of the initial mistake of earnings and then it's continuing to go down. It's a tough situation.
Yeah. And as and so as you get more experience doing this, right? If you've been trading spreads for a while, you kind of have a feeling of how much time decay you should have.
Hmm.
Right? Even if it's close to the money, or I mean, he wasn't that close to the money until earnings came out. And so there should have been some time decay, but because earnings was there, there probably wasn't any time decay. And so
Right.
he was probably looking at a trade that was like either close to break even or he was down a little bit on this trade,
Yeah,
you
it's not
know?
moving, right? Because it's still there.
Yeah, and you're like a couple days to break, you're a couple days to expiration, and you're still like, "Well, I haven't made my money yet. What's going on here?" That should be, I mean, as you gain experience, that'll be another alarm bell going off. Like, hey, there's something going on here. Something's
Yeah.
wrong here.
Yeah.
I need to dig into it. There's some volatility incident or something that's holding up my time decay, and
Well,
unfortunately,
you can see that with the SPX, right? So you do like a credit spread on the SPX, and let's say there's a Fed meeting, right, in the middle of the day, it's going to stay elevated all the way until that event is happens,
hmm
right? You're like,
yeah,
why isn't it moving? Why isn't it moving? For
yeah.
sure.
So unfortunately, in this case, I really don't see anything that can be done, and I think what is that what you told him?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, you recognize that the mistake was the earnings, the big one that kind of took a lot of options out of the possibilities that he
Right.
could do.
Now, of course, we don't tell people what to do.
Right.
That's not our position. That's not our job. But in this case, you could look at the different situations. Be like, okay, well, you could take a full loss. The time is up, or you could roll it. And if you roll it, you're looking at, probably adding more money, and I mean, how much money are you going to make? You're not going to be able to recover the whole thing unless you do it again and again and again and again. And
Right. And
so,
that could be a long, long time, right? You could keep
yeah,
getting putting more capital at it and then just compounds your problem.
you don't want to turn a small battle into a
Yeah.
multi-generational
Run out
war.
war for sure. Yeah.
So sometimes it happens, and it's one of those things that'll remind you, hey, next time before you put your trade on, you check for earnings.
Yeah.
But that sucks.
I told this story and it reminds me of the time when I had a credit spread on, I think we talked about this before. Uh, at least I told it in the group that I had a credit spread on VLO, right? And I was like, okay, I put it on the spread, went to the gym that night, sitting there on the treadmill, I'm like, oh, what to watch, go through some sports, and I come back to Jim Cramer, right? And Mad Money. And he's going through all the earnings that are happening the next few days and whatnot. And he's like, oh yeah, VLL's got earnings. And I'm like, what? Like, there's no way, right? I'm sure I checked it, right? So I made sure I looked at it and put me in a bad mood, go home, I get on the computer, I check it out. He was wrong. So
ah,
he was wrong. Jim Cramer was wrong, right?
oh,
So
okay.
they had their whole little sheet there and it was all messed up. So, yep.
So, okay, lucky you.
Yep. I feel,
But I have made that mistake several
sure.
times, and I just made it 2 days ago, just to be clear. I wanted to, after our last show on Wednesday, we were talking about Intel, and I decided, hey, you know what? I think it's going to keep going higher, so let me put a trade on. And I looked at the chart and I saw, because I used Thinkorswim and I saw the little symbol there for the earnings. And I'm like, oh, look, it popped. Like that day of earnings, it jumped up. So I'm like, oh, they just had earnings and it popped. Oh, that's great.
Hmm.
So I put a trade on. I actually bought a in the money call, but I
Mm.
bought it a year out. So I'm like trying to play this long game now for this one. Because I don't know what's going to happen in the short term, but long term, I said, hey, I'm gonna try this. And earnings was that night, that evening.
I already know the chart.
Yes. And the damn thing is down 15% today. And so yeah, I feel you, whichever student that was. I've been there. We make that mistake.
But you
But
said this is a year out, you said?
yeah, it's a year out.
So it's like on paper it hurts, right? But
For
it
now,
could,
it hurts. I
yeah,
mean,
it hurts
I
to
went
look
into
at.
it. This was a long call. So I went into it knowing, hey, look, I could lose 100% of this.
Right.
I mean, it's a bet that I normally lose when I'm buying options. I normally lose. I'm not good at it. Full disclosure,
I
that's
don't
not
think
my thing.
anyone's really good at it, right? It's
Yeah,
like,
I don't think anybody's really
wow.
good at it. It's too hard. It's very, very difficult. And so I thought about it. It's a $5,000 trade, and I'm like, okay, my goal here is to double. That'd be great if I could double. But if I lose, I'm gonna lose it all probably, maybe. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that if that happens. So right now I'm down over 1,000 of that five.
Yeah, but I mean, like, it's still in play. So it's not like,
Yeah, it can come back. I
yeah.
got time. But
I think
yeah.
it's one of those ones where you just kind of don't look at it often
Yeah, for now. Not even.
until you need to.
Yep. So we got a couple comments. Bad Mav saying hi to everybody. George Thompson saying hi to everybody. So welcome, guys. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for watching. Um, and yeah, so interesting day. Um, and I wasn't there. There's one. I guess we'll turn now to the unless you have anything else, Matt, that we need to talk about. We can turn to
Oh,
the
I was just
main
thinking,
topic today.
poor George up there in Minnesota. He's up in the real cold.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow. That,
he's in the teeth of it.
oh, but he's used to it. If you're in Minnesota, I saw a picture of Lake Michigan frozen over.
Yeah.
So
Well,
yeah.
George came on the coaching call last night and he had like a full-on hat. I was like, man, he looked like he was outdoors.
Oh, ouch.
Yeah.
Imagine if he was outdoors. He'd be like, I got a hat on, no shirt on, it's snowing. I'm out. Yeah, go
You
George.
see why I'm in Florida.
Oh boy. I have no idea what it feels like to live through that cold. Uh, I grew up in Florida. Now I live in Houston, so
It's so cold, your nose freezes together. You have
it
delays.
freezes together. What do you mean
Freezes
together?
together, yes. And you can throw, it's true, you can throw water up. You can go outside, throw water up in the air, and it'll turn to snow if it's that cold. Yeah.
You
Freeze right
take
up.
you take water in your hand,
Take a cup of water,
a cup of water. Okay,
go outside,
yeah.
throw it up in the air,
Throw it up in the air and it
it'll
freezes.
freeze like snow and like mist all the way down. It's that cold.
Wow.
Yes. Um, the cold I'm talking about is probably even worse in Minnesota because I've had this bouts of it in upstate New York where you can't even open your car, right? The locks freeze.
Yeah,
Uh,
that I've seen that happen.
yeah, just terrible stuff, man. Just yeah, that's a level of below zero.
Ice. Oof.
I'm
So
not talking like so.
George saying he's new to Minnesota this winter, but he's from Washington. He's from Washington State, so he knows cold.
Oh boy.
And then Jennifer's saying that Chicago canceled their polar plunge this year due to the cold weather.
How can you even have to break the ice? You have to actually break it to do it.
Why would they do that? I mean, that's the whole point of it to be okay. But
They're probably worried they'll get underneath the ice somewhere.
yeah, somebody could, yeah, that,
Uh,
whew, I don't know, man. There was one time it snowed in Houston. The last time it snowed in Houston was at night. We were at somebody's house. We got out of the house and there was snow and ice all over the windshield. And
hmm
so I'm thinking, and so the other the
Oh,
other
don't tell me where you don't. I know where this is going.
the other dads are
Oh,
there
yeah.
and they're like trying to scrape off the ice so they can see. And I'm like, dude, I'm a smart guy. I go back into the house, get some warm water. I start
Oh, I
putting it
no,
all over the
no,
windshield.
no, no, no,
It
no.
worked. It worked. So I thought I was really smart, but then I learned later, like that's the totally wrong thing to do.
Last thing you should do.
Oh man. And then George says he also grew up in Montana, which is I don't know if that's the one of the coldest places, but
Yeah, I
um
put it up there for sure.
but yeah. Poop. All right. Well, hopefully everybody's home. Those of you who are in the club, watch some videos this weekend if you have power, because we ain't going
That
out.
power, right? If you have power.
Catch up on some of those lessons. And if Option Genius is nobody's responding to you on Monday, it's because we're not in the office.
I'll be around. Get
All
me.
right,
There's
Matt's
no
around.
hurricanes down here.
Harriet's going to be there as well,
There,
for sure. Matt will be there. I don't know. I don't think I'm coming into the office. We'll see how it goes.
I wouldn't drive on those roads.
And nobody in Texas knows how to drive when
They
there's
do not.
ice on the road, so I'm probably going to stay home. But that's it. And okay, cool. So we weren't going to talk about this, but we were discussing this before our call. Me and Matt were, and he said that this is exactly the type of thing we should be discussing.
I think
And
so.
so we decided, okay, let's go ahead. Let's be all fully transparent and all that stuff. And so I even named the video today called "I Made 55,000 in 2 days." So, if you guys have been following us, you might have heard that I have some contracts, some futures. I'm in the futures for both gold and silver. Um, I was in platinum, but I got out last year, but I got back into gold and silver. And this year they have been on a tear. In fact, yesterday they were up $25,000, just the two of them to put together. Today
Oh,
they
wait a minute. That's for you, Alan.
They're ringing the bell, but
For you.
I haven't taken it out yet. I haven't taken the money out yet, so it's still paper profit. Um, and
All right, paper
today,
bell.
I'll go ahead and share my screen. Let's see. Can you see my screen?
Ken.
And you see that right there.
Woo.
That's what is up today, almost another 35, 34 something. So silver is up 5.6, gold is up 1.3, as I said right here. And so what is that? 25 plus 34, whatever that is.
Yeah.
25 plus 34, 59. So it's increased since the time we started talking. It has increased 4,000. Um, And if we look at the charts, let's look at the gold chart. So you can see here, oh, whoops, hold on a second. It's not the right one. Okay. All right, there we go. So this is the gold futures chart. You can see slow and steady, right? I mean, no crazy moves that much. We had a little pullback here, which was October, and since then it's just been rallying. We had another big dip here toward the end of the year, and then since then it's been going up and up and up and up. Very overbought on every indicator you can think of.
Mhm.
And then you have silver as well.
Silver is even crazier.
Silver's moving higher and higher and crazier. 27 something last year, the middle of the year. Now it's at 101 right now. Um, and this is even more overbought than gold. And so the question here is, yeah, what do
Is
I
why.
do?
Yeah, I
No, I
think
mean, I think we know the why. We've been talking about the why. It's
there's a lot of whys, but everyone has their different whys, you know? It's like their different version of the why, right? They're all kind of close, I would say. What's
Yeah.
your why?
As for the why, I mean, it's gold and silver are different. Gold is mostly people, I think central banks are buying, and because of that, other people are buying and they're getting out. They don't know what to do. So they don't know what to do. They don't know where to put their money.
I think
Everything,
they're catching a bid from the retail now too.
possibly, yeah. People like me jumping in there and being like, "Oh, hey, I want to
You're
play."
a little bit, I would say you're a little bit earlier. I think the retail has started in the last month or so.
Okay. Um, and then the silver is there's, definitely a shortage in silver, but it doesn't explain 5% moves every day or
Mhm.
3% moves or 2% moves. I mean, shortage, yeah, people know about it. And eventually it'll phase out, but yeah, it's just going up. Everybody's buying everything they can get their hands on.
Yep.
Um, And so I do think it's the I think that the biggest thing is the central banks to me. That's my opinion.
Sure. Mhm.
Um, but the why is there. And I mean, let's say we didn't know the why. And we're in this thing. We're in this trade and it's going higher and higher. So the question I have as, the trader is like, what do I do? Do I do anything? Um, because I don't want to give it back.
No, absolutely not. Right?
I don't want to give it back, but I don't want to miss out either.
Yes.
You know,
We talked a little bit about this. So it's one contract, right?
it is
So
one contract each, and let me expand on it. It's one contract each. We talked about the margin as well. So
mhm.
margin on silver has gone up to 87,000. The margin on gold is now almost at 42,000 per contract. So those continue to increase. And eventually it'll phase me out because it'll be too big for my account size. So that's one thing. The second thing I was thinking was like, I'd like to get more. I'd like to do more. If I can make 55 in 2 days, I could have made 110 in 2 days. So it's like, and so, but I don't think I can at this point with the margin the way it is. Because
So what would they just would kick you out? How would that work? For
you'd get a margin call.
you get a margin call.
You get a margin call. It'd be like, hey, you have not enough capital in your account, and either
Yeah.
put more money in or sell something. So I might have to, you can see I have this is I have positions here, and these other sections of my account.
I have to sell something to
And so I'd have to bail on something else to hold on to it.
so
Um,
I look at this, right? And then from my standpoint, and trying to take emotion out of it, which we're is very smart to do, right? It's easy to get caught up in all the emotion. So then I look back to the thesis of what it really going on, right? In my mind, do you think central banks are going to suddenly start dumping gold?
No.
I don't think it's likely. So I'm more apt to hang on in that case. If I was unsure of that, silver may be a different story, but because it's such a run up and
Yes.
it's in my mind secondary to gold, so I may be pulling the plug on that one first, taking the gains and then leaving the gold because I'm more certain or at least convicted in my thoughts that that will continue or at least not drop all of a sudden.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with you there. I don't think that there, I think the gold run up will continue.
Mhm.
Um, I'm not sure about silver.
Right. I don't think most people are, right?
And so, it's like, hey, I don't want to give it back, but I want to still participate. And so George did asking a couple questions. He goes, number one, when do we short? Well, not right now. That's for sure. We want to see a pure signal. We want it to turn around and tell us that, hey, I'm going lower. Number one. Number two, he says that at some point you start hedging with puts.
Mhm.
So that makes a lot of sense too, except that the puts themselves for these futures contracts are very expensive.
Right. Yeah.
So let's if we take a look at silver, uh, actually silver has no options. What?
Did you say you were in platinum too at one point?
Last year.
Last year. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm in the 34. So this is the silver one. This is the futures option that corresponds. Wait a minute, which one am I in? 66 days to expiration. Okay. So I got 66 days on that one. So this is the one, this option that would mix or match to my contract. And if we're buying a put, like let's say if silver drops $10 from here, right? I'm gonna protect myself. That's a 10% drop. Um, we would buy like let's say the 91. Okay. That by itself is about $6,000.
Yeah.
So, you know, buying insurance
Uh,
of $6,000 is kind of expensive
it is.
to
But
protect to protect 52,000. But if everything drops 10%, I'm back to pretty much zero. So
yeah,
that won't help me unless I buy it at the money. And at the
it
money,
costs you a lot more, right?
yeah, it's going to cost about $12,000 at the money.
There's no telling how far it could, right?
Mm,
So,
yeah. And that's
hmm,
a sunk, pretty much a sunk cost. You might get some of it back, maybe not. But normally when you're buying the insurance, you feel like, okay, that's fine. I'll pay it and hopefully I don't use it and it'll go to zero.
it's designed what it's supposed to do.
Yeah. So interesting, interesting conundrum, something to think about. Now we talked on the last call, we talked about the opposite situation where I'm also in Netflix shares and I'm sitting on a huge loss.
Yep.
And we said, oh, hey, we could get out of part of it. And so what I did there was, might as well just show that too.
Oh, you did do something.
Yes.
I did not know.
So with Netflix, as you can see, I'm $82,000 loss sitting on Netflix. I sold at the money um, calls. No, where'd they go?
You did.
Oh, I must have gotten out of them. I sold at the money calls, and thinking that I would get out of half. because we had talked about it. I was like, I'm
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. I'm gonna get out of half of the position. I'll use the money somewhere else. Maybe put it in gold and silver.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I
You're
sold
getting
out
a
the
nice
money.
premium.
I got I got about 4 grand for that. And then the stock kept dropping.
Right.
And
So you,
so they weren't worth anything, and I got out of those. Um,
but you collected some nice
so
premium,
I collected a few
at
grand,
least.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm still mega down on that position. So that's kind of where we're at here. And George is giving us some another ideas. How about we just take the money and we trade GLD and SLV? We could do that. What we could do is also maybe do a stock replacement, or in this case, a futures replacement, where we get out and buy options, call options on GLD and SLV.
Mhm.
The difference there is that the futures is highly leveraged. And so that's why you can see with a 5% move, a $27,000 gain, or
Right.
a 1% move, a 6,000, almost $7,000 gain. In SLV and GLD, you do not have that. So a 1% move in gold or GLD would be very, let's see, what did GLD go up? GLD today up 1.2 is up 5. So it would not have the same
Same effect.
percentage
Right.
goal gain. And so maybe I get into the leveraged ETFs um, to kind of stimulate the same thing. But that's kind of where I'm at. And, it's like, hey, I don't want to give it back, but I still want to participate. But I'm scared it's going to turn around and head lower.
But
um,
maybe you do the same thing you kind of do with Netflix. The same idea is that you get out of silver and continue on gold, and you have the kind of the best of both worlds, right? You had a great gain in silver.
mhm.
Use up, yeah, you missed out on it, but you're still making out with gold most likely.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's funny because like last night I was talking, my wife and I went to dinner. I'll tell the story. And
It's
she
making me laugh
asked,
again.
she's like, "Oh, hey, how's your trading today? How'd you do?" And I'm like, "Mm." She goes, "You lost money?" And I'm like, and if you can't see me, I'm shaking my head. No. And she goes, "What? Tell me. You have to tell me." I'm like, mm. And she goes, "Why? Because you lost money." I'm like, "No, I didn't lose money." She goes, "Then why don't you tell me?" I'm like, "Well, I made 25 grand." And she goes, "Oh, well, why aren't you happy?" I'm like, "Well, number one, I am happy. Number two, I just made 25 grand. Aren't you like gonna show any excitement or show anything?" And she goes, "Yeah, yeah, that's great. That's wonderful. Good for you. But you should be jumping up and down." And I'm like, "No, I'm not going to be jumping up and down because I am a trader. And so I need to divorce myself from the outcome. I need to take the emotions out of it. I'm trying to practice what I preach, and I need to be calm because as long as I make the right moves and make the right decisions, I need to keep my emotions out of it. Otherwise, I'm going to get messed up because I'm up 25 today. I could be down 25 tomorrow. They could just go back. And then I'll be what? Shooting myself in the head because, I don't want to be on that roller coaster.
And you'll definitely be shaking your head.
Yes. And she goes,
That
that
time.
that that makes perfect sense. That makes perfect sense. But now that I'm looking at this and it's just continues to go up as we're talking, um, it's kind of like, okay, you're telling me get out of silver and stay in gold. Now, what happens if gold or silver tomorrow makes another 5.83% move and is up another $28,000?
Okay, so
Then
simply,
I'm going to be like, ah, why the hell did I listen to Matt? Ah.
what Matt is telling you is simply you're looking at making the right moves, right? And at the end of the day, if you have,
No,
just
no,
listen,
this is too hard.
listen, you know it's coming. If you got out of it, you're still going to be happy. The end result is you're going to be happy. Would you not be?
Yeah, But if
Okay.
it goes up again, I'm gonna be really upset.
What gets people most in trouble?
I don't know.
Holding on, holding on, holding on, and then getting dropped.
The what is it? Pigs get slaughtered, hogs
That's
get
it.
slaughtered,
That's
something.
it.
Yeah.
Like you'd be like, okay, silver continues around. You're like, I hate Matt, but do you really hate me? Not really. You still made a bunch of money.
Yeah. But I could have
So
made
I'm looking at the end
more.
result. I'm looking at the end result.
I could make more.
It goes
The
against, oh,
fear, this the fear of missing out. That's what
no,
the
that's just,
comments.
that's just,
Ay
devote
ay
yourself
ay.
to that.
Ay ay ay. Okay, so I'm still uncommitted. I still don't know what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, I'm not telling you what to do.
All right. So, yes, we all
What did
go
your
through
wife
the
say? What did your
same
wife
thing.
say? Did she give you any kind of input about what you should
Well,
do?
she doesn't know about today.
Oh, yeah, but she knows generally.
She knows, she knows the 25 yesterday. She doesn't know that it was another 35 today.
Oh boy, gonna be
Um,
an interesting dinner.
so if I call her up right now, she's probably gonna be like, "Get the hell out."
Ah,
Yeah, probably. If I know her,
at the
she's
end
gonna
of
be
the
like, "Get
day,
the heck
right?
out."
You got to make a decision.
Yep. Yeah. Do we think it's gonna go higher? Yes, on both counts.
So yeah, I mean, in all funniness, all seriousness, I come back to the thesis, right? It's one thing, like if you put this side by side with like a GameStop, you're like, okay, that get out, right? But
Mm,
putting them side by side, this is a different case in my mind.
yes.
We're talking about capital flight, right? Into hard
Yes.
assets.
But at what point is this become a runaway crazy market,
No one knows. That's the thing.
Yeah. And so Jennifer's asking, what would make you get out of silver? So
It's a
I
great one.
think at this point, because of the gain, any little downtick would scare the heck out of me and I would just get out.
That gives me more support of what I told you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that I say that, yes.
Yeah. That's a great question.
I don't think I could sit there and watch, 55 grand like evaporate.
Yeah. Again, it comes down, is Alan happy at the end of the day, right? So yeah,
Take the gains.
yeah.
My Latrell is saying, take the gain, take the gain. Yeah. So I think that's probably what I'll do. How's the 1 minute chart look? I think it's still
You
heading
got
higher.
an hour. No, that's future. So
Oh
that means
man, it's still going higher.
you, oh,
It's still going higher and higher. Oh man.
maybe you need to take a nice walk around the block before it gets all icy and nasty and think through.
And it just hit, it's a hit a record. It's up over 100. I don't know if there's thresholds for commodities. We haven't tried that. I don't know. But could it go higher? Yes. Maybe I'll get out of the of silver. I think I want to stay in gold. Um,
I think that, yeah.
I think get out and then
Do
should
you
we
see
get
these central banks dumping all of a sudden? Probably not. Even if
no.
it down ticked a while, they're still going to buy.
What about platinum? Oh, platinum looks the same as silver.
What is
Very,
copper?
very overextended. Copper,
Copper?
I don't know. Copper is also very up. Let's see here. If I can find. Do you know the
I don't. Let me see.
copper futures? Here we go. Copper is at 5.9. Today is up 2.6%. It was up to a dollar. It was up over $6 last week. So it's actually pulled back a little bit. Um, so and that's a totally different mindset. Um, copper is a metal, but it's more of an industrial metal.
Mhm.
And that one is based on the dollar. So if the dollar is weak, copper goes down, which is the opposite of gold. So they kind of go in different directions, which is weird. But they're all up now. I mean, they're all pretty,
Yeah, everything's up, up.
yeah. So okay.
Interesting.
All right.
I mean,
Well,
this is good. This is good, Alan.
this is real life. This is real.
Yeah,
This
we're
is what it
happy,
is.
and I'm extremely happy, right?
Uh, ah, I don't know. Yeah,
Well,
I
hey,
guess.
sometimes things don't work. Sometimes you hit it right. So
Yes. Yes.
celebrate.
Yeah.
Good luck in your decision.
Thank you. All right. So we still have the update, the
Yes.
SmackDown. Let's go ahead and do that.
All right.
I'm just curious before you do that. The people that are watching, what do you guys think? Let me know in the chat. What would you do if you were in that same position with the silver futures contract? What would you do?
I love it. Going to the panel.
Yeah. Let's see. Because up till now, nobody has actually given advice except, well, Mike said take the gains, and George didn't really give advice. He gave some ideas. So, what are you guys thinking?
I think you should put a poll in the club too.
Mm, yeah, make them all watch this for an hour, and then say, "Hey, what do you think?" So George gives a good idea. Trailing stops. So
Mhm.
trailing stop is used in futures. Yeah. But I'm concerned uh that if we have a sell off, it's going to go right through, and you know, it's going to skip. Like, I don't think that today it'll go down, but if we open tomorrow or on Monday, let's say, we open and it gaps lower, forget my
Yeah,
trailing stop. It's going to fill me wherever it opens. And
it's a hit
so,
or miss. Yeah,
yeah, it
yeah.
could be down 10%.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't like those for that reason.
so Jennifer's saying she'd probably be freaking out. She's has some mental work to do.
Freak it out in
Um,
a good way. This is a good freak
Yeah, it was a good freak out.
out.
George saying greed has been his worst enemy in his trading, and then Michael saying to sell. So, um, and then Jennifer says that she's probably going to consider getting out at the end of today, which I think the consensus is don't be greedy, take the money, and there you go. George says take the money and run. So I think everybody's saying the same thing.
Well,
Wait,
and then also you could think about selling, right?
yeah.
Then your thesis is still, I think, I don't know, put words in your mouth. You still think silver will continue to go sideways or up.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you wait for that drop, and if it does happen, then you get back in at that
You wait
point.
for a pullback. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Then you still take advantage of whatever.
Because the exact same situation happened at the end of the year last year.
Mhm.
We had I was in the futures contract. We had 2 days in a row where silver was up 10% and 10%. And so it was up a lot. Um, and then the next day it sold off massive. I forgot how much it was, but it gave back most of it.
Yeah, that's the worst in trading. Of
And I did have a stop, and the stop was ignored, and they got me out at the very bottom,
course.
and it was like, oh, okay, I made some money, but you know
Right, and
that's
then you
it.
have all the emotions of this and this, right?
Yeah,
It's
I
like,
was like, oh, is that it? It's over. you know so I waited a few days, and then it started picking up again, so then that I got in again. So I actually, what you just suggested is, it's like I've done that. And But this time I don't want to give it away. Like last time I gave it back. This
right.
time I don't
This
want to give
way
it
you would
back.
have it, and then you'd be waiting if that happens. So it's like, you know,
Yeah. Yeah. So Jen says this is like when they ask 100 people how much does an elephant weigh, and the crowd basically gets it right. So we all tell you what to do, and it works out perfectly. So they're all telling me to get out. So I think the consensus of the crowd is to get out. So let's go ahead and do that. I think at the end of the day, I'll be out of the silver contract. So thank you all.
you're welcome.
All
We're
right.
excited for you. It's very good. Awesome.
All right. Now the SmackDown. How we doing?
All right.
Hecla Mining still in front.
Oh, you already have an idea?
Well, I mean, we're talking about silver up 5%,
No,
so
no need
yes.
to. Sorry. Um, there we go. I got my shit messed up here. Okay, here we go.
Okay. Ooh wee, look at that. So maybe we take the silver money and put it into Hecla Mining. 28%.
Fine. 28, rocking and rolling.
That's like in 2 weeks.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, so that's first place. Second place is Mike Luttrell, our two-time current winner, PPLT. Forgot what that is.
That's
Third
the
place.
silver.
No,
Yes.
that's a silver thing. Okay, it's
Yeah,
another
yeah,
silver
yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Third place is AMD at 15.8%. And everybody else is under that. So we
I
got
keep looking at A Lab, it's like it's 168 and then it's like 180 something and then it's 168. It just goes back and forth. Whatever it was. I keep forgetting what that is. What is
oh, all right. Cool beans. Okay, so today's the 23rd. We got another week.
yeah.
So I think it's still anybody's game. 28% is a little bit hard to overcome if you're in the negative right now, but yeah, it could be anybody's win. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it continues.
There could be a little pullback. Let's see.
Hmm. I don't know. Well, if we get that pullback in silver, the numbers will be all different next
Yeah.
week.
That's right. That's what I'm saying.
Or the Fed comes out and lowers rates just to piss off Trump. Or no, they raise rates to piss off Trump
They would
and
raise
everything,
rates. Can you
everything
imagine?
else.
Oh, that'd be such a news story. Ugh.
That would be so
Be
funny.
be Jerome Powell's like last stand.
Yeah.
Like here.
It's like it's January. I'm going to raise rates and then I'll
Yep,
do it again. I'm
you're
going to do it
firing
again.
me anyway. Here we go. I'm gonna give you a bunch of rate hikes.
We'll make sure you get impeached for the third time or something. I don't
Yep.
know.
He's gonna need
Oh man.
protection for
All
sure.
right. So, okay, that's it for us today. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you all for your help. I appreciate that very much. And stay warm, be safe. Hopefully, you know, hopefully everything's okay. You never know when this kind of situation happens with the power and the lines,
Yeah, ice is
but
really bad.
just be really careful. Stay home if you can, and we'll see you all next week.